timey. 3 days to go. That is including today. We are getting down there in time. So everybody getting those last few day jitters, getting excited, and then we have a break. Everybody knows if you're going into another class, we have a break and we start back on, I believe it is the 8th. I believe that's the date. Let me see if I pop a calendar up here. Do, 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 do. There is June. Yep, we go back the 8th. Yes, we do. So there is a bit of a break there. Yes. So those of you that do have another class, some people have a class, some people have an externship. So you will have a break in there. So yesterday, I asked y'all to list out things that might stand in your way. And I want you to know everybody has kind of the same general fears. Isn't that kind of interesting? Some of the same common themes. Not everybody has the same ones, but people want to start their own businesses. Financial is a big one. How do I get going? I have to have money, but I have to live. People want to start out in a new career, but they have to start typically in the lower levels. But I need money. Um, I don't have money, and so taking those lower starting positions can be hard. Now, this is a true story. I'm not saying this for sympathy. I'm not trying to say this is a hero story, but I want you to know this is the absolute truth. So I want you to know it is possible. And this is the take I want you to do it. I told you many times that I worked at a Denny's, going to school, working 2 jobs, sleeping in my car between classes. I graduated, excited, gonna set the world on fire. Moved from Illinois down to Gainesville, got my degree, gonna do everything. Filled out application after application, heard from no one. Sound familiar to people? You get this kind of treatment, heard from no one. I got hired. So thrilled. My first job with my degree, working at the electronics department at Walmart. That's my first job. Okay. I didn't have a car. I had to walk to work. And so it was so much fun walking to work when you have 4-hour shifts. And it took me almost an hour to walk to work and almost an hour to walk back. Not because it was just that horrible of a walk. It's just, I had to wait for traffic, etc. That's just the way it was. Okay. Then I got my first break. I got my first job in an IT department for a bank. I had to take a pay cut from Walmart to get that first job in my field. 50 cent an hour pay cut. True story. Walmart paid better than the field I went into, but I took it. Okay. So when I wasn't working on the weekends, I listened to the local radio station because they would do promotional things at different businesses around and they gave away food, pizzas, hot dogs, things like that. So I would take my backpack and my bicycle and I would ride to where they were. And I would go there for the free food and I would hang out afterwards. And the leftover food, I would ask them for it. Literally, I would beg them for the leftover food. And the DJs got to know me. And if it was pizza, they would pull extra boxes aside and I'd ride home with those boxes on my bike. Kid you not. I would go home, I'd wrap them up, and I would freeze them. I lived on hot dogs and pizza because I knew if I hung out in that first position and made that happen, the next position I'd be ahead. way more than I could if I hung out for years at Walmart, etc. It was a little bit of a sacrifice for a short time. But remember how we did these goals? Everybody know these goals, right? We did them, we write them down, you turn them in, yes? Don't walk away. Okay, I knew my goals, I knew where I wanted to be. Okay. A year of sacrifice. The next year I moved up. 6 months after I moved up, guess what? I put my down payment on my first house. I had a house. I had no furniture. I had a house. I had my bed. I had a house. I was so proud. I had a kitchen and this, no living room furniture, ate on the floor, but I had the house. I was on my way. But with that goal, I knew when I was going to be able to get furniture. I went to every garage. I didn't pick up the nastiest stuff. I waited. Why? Because I had my goals. I wanted specific looking furniture. I wanted this. You set goals, you reach goals. Understand you have fears that you can overcome, but that's why you put these goals down so you can figure out how to get around them. Okay. So that's one thing, this fear, this money, this going into the position. I took a step back. But sometimes you take a step back or a half a step back, and then you take 2 or 3 steps forward. But if you stay in the path you're on, you're going to be taking these little steps versus these big steps that you'll get to by taking a little step backwards. Okay. Sometimes these things happen. Okay. So think about that. Think about the big picture. We have become a society that we want it now. If we can't have it now, we don't want it. We have to stop that. We have to look at the big picture. And I'm not talking about just a big television. Look at the big picture. What do you really want? Quit throwing things away because I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of it. Okay. Worked with a girl at the veterinary clinic. She needed a new car. Hers was going bad. She's saying, I can't afford one. I can't afford one. I can't afford one. She's going by Starbucks twice a day. Her specialty drink with all the extra shots and everything. Me and another lady from the vet clinic, we sat down with her. We added it all up. If she gave up Starbucks with the number of times she goes every month, we counted them up. She could afford a $500 a month car payment and change nothing else. Give up that Starbucks coffee. Go to Walmart, buy a coffee maker. Which do you want, coffee or a car? This is why you set goals, so you can see what you want and how you can get it. If she didn't plan, she'd be drinking coffee and pretty soon she'd be walking. So understand, these are legitimate things. How can you get what you want with limited funds? Okay, take a look, go through your subscriptions for television, this and that. See what's really important. When you list those goals, you can see what is important. What do I have to have? So that's one of the things. The other thing is that confidence inside you. So, how many people remember when I asked you to list your soft skills and your hard skills? Remember doing this? List out every soft skill, list out every hard skill. William, you remember doing this? There's a reason why we do this. This shows you what you know. List everything out. Part of this is it will help you write your resume. It will also help you write your brand statement. It will also help you write your elevator pitch. These are the things that you need to help promote yourself, but also take a look at those. These are the things you know. These are the things that make you great. And if you don't see that and you don't see it down on paper even, open your eyes a little bit wider. These are not just, oh, I can install a vapor. Oh, I can weld two pieces. Oh, I can handle a pet properly. Look at the other things. I can do conflict management. I can write a paper in Word. I can do these. I can do these. Soft and hard skills. These are the things that make up your abilities, which we talked about. Let that show you. People see you through different eyes than you see yourself. And this is what I've been seeing all month. I see it in your writing. I read everything you turn in. And from day one up until now, I've seen a continuous growth. I may not always say when you slack off a little, but I see it. I know when things aren't going quite right because it's reflective. It reflects in your responses or your lack of response. It reflects in your writing. This also carries true when you go in for that interview. If you're not up to par, if something's going wrong on your way in, it will show in that interview. How many people have won an Oscar? None of us. So don't think that when you go in, you fooled the person on the other side. It shows in your eyes. It shows in your smile. It comes through. Be legitimate. Don't try to be the actor. Be legitimate when you go in. Always be you. I tell you that. Always be honest. If somebody asks you a question, there's a good chance they know the answer and they're checking to see if you're real, if you're honest. And they may not call you out, but they're watching your body language, your eyes, the reflection in your voice, because your voice will waver. You're not that actor. Be you. That will get you with your skills through that interview, through these hurdles where you feel like you don't have the confidence. The real you is confidence because you know you better than anybody. Be proud of you and everything you've done because I am. I'm proud of you because I see your growth. I see your ability to learn as long as you want to learn. And if you stop and you lose that urge and that want, you will accomplish exactly that. You will stop learning. You will stop growing. You will stop achieving. You will stop going up. You have that control, and I've expressed this over and over. You control your career. You control the interview. And I want you to control it the way you see fit. All right? You've got this. Everybody got that? Everybody understand that? You have the ability. It's like that Wizard of Oz element where she says, you had the ability to go home all along. And you know, Dorothy just wanted to punch that witch right in the face. I would love to see that edition. What? You maybe kill all these people just for you? You know you wanted to see her just pow right in the kisser. That's the edition we want. You're going to knock these people out. I know you can. So let's see what we've got here. Let me get my cursor back. It's lost somewhere on one of these screens. There we go. So let's see what we've got here. We are wrapping things up. I'm going to do some sharing here and take a looky here. You'll notice zeros are popping in on assignments. Those are temporary. I'm trying to keep those dropping in as soon as the next day passes. Don't be alarmed. As soon as you complete the assignment, it flips, but I want you to see your current grade. We've had a couple of people actually finish the final exam. Scores are through the roof. Let that be an encouragement that if you do it, it is not so bad. Keep that guide handy. You can do amazing. And so, even though it is longer than the midterm, I think that score wise, we're going to see even better scores than the midterm, and the midterm was fantastic. And so, it is a full 100 points, so it's easier to see your grade. Understand that when you get your initial grade, it's going to be low. I do go back through. I even check what the auto grader checks because I don't agree with some of the answers because things change after books are published. One of those that you'll see is the count on the number of characters for Twitter, the options, everything is true on that. So no matter what you choose on the number of characters, if you get that question, what's the right number of characters for a tweet? Any one of those answers will be right because they changed it since the book was published. Okay, so if you get that question, no matter what you answer, you're going to get that one right. So we're moving through here. One of the things I have to let you know, remember how we talk about different generations at work? We talked about that. There's the 5 generations, which, by the way, that's going to be on the final exam. No, you're fine. How many people remember us talking about the different ages you're going to meet out in the workforce? Anybody remember that? Yeah. Okay, it's funny because that comes into play with this assignment here, the soft skills, this leadership in action. With this scenario where you're the manager, I'm seeing how you respond is partially based on your generation. It's really interesting because different age groups are responding how they would treat the employees based on age groups. So, how you deal with this conflict management is handled different by different age groups. Let me tell you, I like the way the younger generations, the Gen X, the Gen Zs, um, handle it better than what we refer to as the more traditionalist type generations. Uh, you get to some of the really older people and they're just like, fire them, fire them. That's the answer. Fire them, fire them. Not conflict management material at all. They don't take into consideration the other people, the younger workers, their people management skills superior. I have to give you credit for that. It is amazing. I really like what I'm seeing. Some of you may want to consider in your field, no matter what you're doing, you may want to look for leadership positions. Has anybody thought about that? Anybody out there looking to be a supervisory or leadership position in your career fields? Look at your people skills. And people are like, well, I've worked at Taco Bell, I've worked at McDonald's, I've worked at Walmart, I've worked at this. But you're working with public. Public is hard. I think everybody should be required to work in food service and retail. It should be mandatory. You should have to enlist and be forced to work in retail and restaurant work because then you will appreciate what these people have to deal with. These are the most beat up and abused people in our society, and they do it for very little pay. If you don't appreciate these people, you shouldn't be allowed to eat out or go to a store. Appreciate these people. Okay? That's my little soapbox because if you haven't ever done it, you don't understand how horrible these people are treated. And then maybe you'll understand why sometimes they act like they don't care. They've had it beat out of them. Okay. So, anyway, it's amazing your soft skills. Make sure When asked, you mention how you resolve conflict. Okay? Don't just say, I have good people skills. Mention in an interview how you handle conflict. All right? So the results, I'm sending things out to career services. I don't have results back from everybody's mock interview. So I'm going to be asking them, hey, did these people come in for their mock interviews? Because I don't have results back. All right. And so one in particular, I'm waiting for results back. I know they interviewed with, but the person's not sending me the results. So that's being held up. Career plan. I'm seeing some incredible results on the career plan. I'm very happy with those. So keep that up. That's a very critical 250 point item. Uh, keep that up. All right. So let's get over to the lecture here. Um, because I want to go through this. One thing I want to do here, let me make sure this is ready to go, is this slide here. How many people have heard of imposter syndrome? Because I want to talk about this. Anybody heard of imposter syndrome? Okay, this goes along with your confidence here, folks. Okay, I want you to, I want to assure you of this, okay? This is something very, very common, and a lot of you express this, but not in the same way. So imposter syndrome is it's a fear that you don't have what it takes. Okay. So in the first side there, you see the little head here is what you know. So you have this feeling that that's all you know is that little bit right there. And so my pen is not working there. Here we go. So you had this feeling, this is what you know, but look at what everybody else knows. In reality, you know bits of what everybody else knows. Just what it's identical to what everybody else knows. Okay. So it's not like you are missing out. It's not like you're not contributing. Okay. So don't think that you are less than everybody else. In reality, you do know, you do contribute. This is a self imposed fear, and it's quite common. Okay. You don't just know this tiny little bit like you believe you do. You have similar knowledge to everybody in the room. This person, this person, this person. So you share common knowledge with everybody, and they share common knowledge with them. See how it overlaps here, here. So everybody shares some common knowledge, and then everybody has unique knowledge. And this is how a team works. So that's something that I want y'all to realize. Now, the other thing that kept coming up was being away from family. How many people worry that their job's going to keep them too far or too much away from family? Okay. I know this came up a lot. This is something that it's an issue for a lot of people. So I want you to think about location. Location is very much an issue when it comes to jobs. So let me go here. So if you're looking at jobs, maybe locate yourself here so that jobs can be located around you here. So you can go here, 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 like this. Whereas instead, if you're currently here, now you got to go all the way up here for a job, keeping you away from your family. Instead of locating all the way up to here, and now you're having to go further away. If your job's going to require travel, try to find the central location for all the places you may have to travel to and consider relocating your family to the closest point central to all of them, making your travel time the least to every place you may have to go. This is a better way than staying in one spot, no matter how much you like it there, and creating the most time away. Does everybody see how that can work? Don't become so locked in to one spot. Okay, moving is hard. We become very grounded, very attached to where we are, but that makes us come to a point where we are willing to sacrifice family, opportunity, and personal happiness to keep a location over everything. Always evaluate. Okay, does everybody understand that? Look at the big picture. Is this personal home more important than family time, personal growth, and overall happiness? So look at the big picture, figure out what is the overall best way to accomplish everything. And that sometimes is more difficult to look at because that's kind of a tangible, you can't just grasp. And it's difficult. It's hard to do. Okay. I went through something similar. I had to give up a home for almost 30 years and move up to this location here in Central Florida because situations changed with my parents being older, and I had to decide which was more important, me staying put in one location or being able to ensure health and happiness for parents and switching jobs or staying put just because I wanted a physical house. So that evaluation had to happen. And sometimes you find out it's better. Me switching gave me the opportunity to come teach here. And I found that at first, even though I wasn't sure I'd like this, it's a complete different thing. I find that it's a more satisfying position. But like y'all, I wasn't sure that I could do something. I wasn't sure that I wanted to do something. So you have to be brave and try things sometimes. And when it comes to your family and that separation, sometimes you have to think and evaluate, how can I minimize this? What would I have to change? So I hope that helps in evaluating what do you do and how do you do that? Okay. And the other thing is if you're going to have to be gone for long periods, look for places like Residence Inn, things like these long-term stay hotels and things, and see if, like on weekends, your family can travel up to where you are and stay in something like that and be close to you on weekends if you have to be away for long periods. And then it becomes mini vacations for them. So think about different opportunities. Okay, everybody got that? So try to think outside the box and maintain that happiness. Okay, so we're going to talk about your first day on the job, typical first days. How many people hate first days? I do. Some of this stuff we have covered before. So your first day is going to be overwhelming, exciting. So try to learn a little bit about it beforehand. You're going to have different forms, an I-9 form, a W-4, and sometimes benefits. Okay. Now the I-9 form, it's not a highway. It's an authorization to work in the United States. Okay. This lets them know you are legal to work in the United States. Now, When I say legal to work in the United States, it could be on a visa as well, but it gives you the ability to work here. It must be completed and signed in the front of human resources, okay? Oops, my pen's not working today. It has to be, okay? Not within 3 days, etc. People think it's within a time period. No, it's got to be in front of human resources, okay? And then you have the W-4, and that's your withholding, and that's determined by marital status and number of dependents. People will tell you, oh, put a 1 down, put a 2 down, fill out the form. Otherwise, you could end up owing a lot of taxes at the end of the year. And then, of course, benefits. And your benefits could include medical, dental, vision, life insurance, and things like that. Sometimes you will not have those right away. Sometimes you have to wait for enrollment forms or enrollment periods. Sometimes you have to wait 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Each one of those is separate. When you go to your first day, please make sure you have all the identification you may need, social security cards, driver's license, any identification that they may need to have. Okay, make sure you are on time and you know what time you need to be there. Does the shift start at 9 o'clock or do you have to be there at 9 o'clock? Does it say 9 o'clock, but you actually have to be there at 8:30? Make sure, look at this, smile and be enthusiastic, okay? Don't look like you're walking into your own funeral, okay? Be pleasant, be positive, and be excited to be part of a team. This is where you want it to be. And make sure that they know that you're enthusiastic and you're going to be an asset. That's why you're there. And ask for anything you need help with. How are they going to know you need help? Okay. Skip one. Okay. Okay. If you're working remote, sometimes you will have to possibly work remote. Make sure you have a workspace to work from. Don't be trying to balance anything on top of your child's head, etc. Make sure that if you have to do an onboarding session, you are there. Okay. Onboarding is what they call new hire training. You're going to learn about their mission statement, their values, their practices. You need a routine. Communicate effectively. That means talking to them, writing them, etc. Make sure you are taking care of your physical as well as your mental health. Know how to eliminate stress, etc. If you are not going in mentally healthy, you can be in danger in welding, electrical, working with the animals, especially if you're not in the mental game, that animal can hurt you, even possibly kill you. People don't think about that. You know, a dangerous dog can kill easily. Okay, things like this. So make sure your mental health is right there along with that physical health. You may be training by yourself or with a group that was hired at the same time, or you may actually start in your position and they may send you into a new hire program maybe a week later. Okay, so it may be one on one. If so, make sure you let them know when you need more information. Don't think you are bothering them or they're going to think that you're stupid. The only stupid questions are the ones you don't ask. Okay, how are you ever going to know if you don't ask? You're going to have to speak up, even if you're shy. You need this information, and the way to get it is to let them know. Otherwise, they think you know it, and when you need it 3 months down the line, they're going to wonder why you didn't get this in your training. Okay, if you have to watch those videos, how many people hate those training videos? Everybody does. Every hand should be up for that. We all hate them. I hate them. I have to make them, and I hate the ones I have to make. Okay? So we all know we hate those training videos. And so, but you may have to do, but they're there for a reason. They're going to take you on a tour. All employees, what hours? Who do I call on in an emergency? Know that what you need to do if you can't come to work, if you get locked out of the building. What hours are the building are open? How do I get paid? What's the leave? What's lunch policies, etc. These list of questions are in your book. Think about them before you go to work. Your professional network. Told you this is ongoing. Make sure you update it. Put it on all your online accounts. Let people know you are now working for this. Keep that LinkedIn account updated. Don't let that go stagnant. Now, a performance evaluation. This is designed to give you feedback on your work and how you interact with your coworkers. That coworker interaction is now becoming more important than just your ability to work. Because if you can't work with your coworkers, you won't be working. They need you as a team. And you will get some sort of form and you will typically have to sign it. Now, if there's things on there you don't agree, there will be a spot where you can refute them. That means you can, say, I don't agree with this and this and this before you sign it. If you don't agree with something, make it known on that form. You have that right. You don't just have to sign it if you don't agree with it. Okay? You are in control at all times. Now, your etiquette. You always have to be courteous. Keep your voice low on the phone. Don't be one of these people walking around with your speakerphone out like this. What is this? Everybody's got a phone. Nobody's impressed. Nobody cares. You don't have to walk around like this. Who are you? You're not a Kardashian. Put that phone up to your ear. If you think that phone's gross or icky, go wash your phone. Go wash your face or your ear. Put it up there. Nobody wants to see that you're holding a phone out, okay? You're not doing a concert, put it up to your ear. If you're listening to music, use headphones. Okay. If it's safe, remember you're where you're working. Okay. Headphones around animals, not a good idea because you can't hear danger coming, etc. And some animals will remove them from you. Okay. Turn off or silent digital devices. You're there to work, not be on the phone and not be entertained. Keep clean, organized, and uncluttered workspaces. It's not your personal home. It is a workspace. They are allowing you to use it. Personal items, keep them put away. Okay. You love your family. Not everybody else does. Okay. We don't want to see all your family postered all over the place. Keep them put away. All right. Maybe one or two items, personalize the space, but we don't need to see a poster board. Okay. Food and beverages you may not be able to have in the workplace. Find out what the policy is before you do it. Better to ask first. Now, accidents, falling, lifting, and material storage. Sometimes people get these confused, but falls are the most common workplace accident. We just can't stand up. Close your drawers completely. Do not stand on chairs. Secure rugs, mats, and keep areas clean and free. Okay? Back injuries are next. Lift from the knees. Don't bend over to lift. Make small trips, put them on carts, etc., etc. Use doily or dollies, not doilies, dollies or hand carts, and never lift anything that blocks your vision. It's funny in movies, not in real life. Okay. Now, material storage, that's includes stacking things up too high, putting heavy objects on top of light objects, and securing things. Okay. Making sure rugs are down, things like that. That's also considered a material storage. All right. Now, ergonomics, that's making sure everything is at the proper height and things like that for proper working. In shops, that means your counter heights are proper so that you're not bending over improperly when you're working on projects and things. In chairs, when you're sitting in them, your eyes should be going straight across to look at monitors. Your back should be up. Your knees should be going across. There should be a slight bend, etc. Your arms should go across. This is showing you proper, okay? The same thing goes in labs and shops, etc., that you should be sitting properly. This is why you see high chairs at lab tables, and in shops you have the high chairs at the benches, etc. It's to make sure that you are lined up properly. If this was me sitting at my desk, you would see my back goes kind of like this because I am like the letter O. Okay, that is not properly. Okay, wrist rest, uh, chairs, back supports, things like this. You will see them. They are designed to make you safe in the workplace. All right, everybody good? Everybody awake? All right. So here we go for today. What is your biggest first day anxiety? It's your first day on the job. What is it you fear the most that first day? We all have anxieties that very first day on the job. What is yours? Tell me about it. When you get there, what is it you don't like about that first day? And don't say all of it. All right. And that is it. Tomorrow will be the last non pre recorded live class. And then Thursday, the recording will be on that screen. Let me show you real quick. When you are looking at your home screen here, you will find that recording right here. Go to live here. You'll find that recording right here under week 4, right there. Okay, so that will pop out and be available right after midnight. So you can get a jump on that as far as the assignment is. Otherwise, the text will go out at 9 o'clock in the morning. The email will be sent out sometime earlier than that. So if you want to get an earlier start than 9 o'clock, you can go in and grab that video and get that question on Thursday. All right, everybody good? Yes, yes? All right, we will see you tomorrow then. Y'all have a great day.